Hey everybody, I'm Axel Beers with Maui Time. I'm here on the corner of Main and Market Street in Wailuku to walk story with Sne Patel. He's a candidate for the West Maui seat of the Maui County Council. Thanks for joining us today, Sne.
Thanks, Axel. Appreciate it.
So tell us, man, why are you running for office?
Well, I mean, yeah, a lot of people have asked me that. This is my first time running. Been involved in the community on the west side for about 18 years and living there.
Yeah.
And COVID-19, you know, for me, really was the game changer.
Oh, really?
I was looking at a lot of the effects it was having on our community on the west side, especially in the business community, small businesses, and seeing how I can get involved in a higher level.
Yeah.
And I've always had a great approach in terms of business as well as community involvement and allowing all voices to be included in the process and having kind of a balanced vision. And so I think that's something that's needed right now, especially as we try to navigate this new normal. And then my kids, you know, and all our keiki, you know, what kind of future are they going to inherit? That's really important for me to be involved in that process and making it better for them. So that's why I got involved.
Oh, so, you know, on that topic of COVID, the coronavirus, we have bars open now, restaurants open now, but we also saw some spikes in cases, and the mayor just yesterday said he wanted to, you know, limit it to gatherings of 10 or less people. Again, it's about that balance, right, of public health and economic recovery. How do you feel we're doing right now in finding that balance? Is there anything that you would change?
Yeah, you know, I think like we're adapting to you know, as the landscape changes, right? The information that we had when this pandemic originally hit is a lot different than what we have now, and I think the administration and everyone has pivoted as new information becomes available.
Yeah.
So our cases have spiked, but that was also expected as we started to test more. And I'm glad that we're testing more, and we need to continue to test more so we can identify those cases and then act accordingly. So yeah, you're right, it is a fine balance, and I think that we are doing a good job of keeping our numbers low, and if that means we need to pivot back to something that was working, we should do that to ensure the health and safety of our community. That comes first.
So, and you know, so as part of the COVID recovery and finding health and safety for our people, the mayor and the county got $67 million from the CARES Act. My understanding is that, you know, because of the way it was added to the budget, kind of circumvented the normal budget process, and it's all in the mayor's control. How do you feel about the way the mayor is managing that money now? And if you were on the council, how would you encourage the mayor to use that money?
Yeah, so I think right now the CARES Act money needs to be used by December 31st. So it's important that we utilize that money effectively and make sure that it's getting into our communities. I think you know, making sure that we have food security and the families are able to eat, keep a roof over their heads. Those are going to be important areas where I think the administration is doing a good job making sure the money is allocated towards that. The other part is, you know, how can we utilize some of those funds as well to test more? Because I do feel that that is going to allow us some sort of stability to get back to having our economy come back.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that if there was an area where we can maybe look into investing those funds more to, would be towards that testing, high quality of testing, so that we can start to talk about the process of bringing back tourism.
And you know, speaking on tourism, obviously from the West Maui, tourism is a big deal there. But another thing people are talking about a lot nowadays is diversification. Is that something that diversification of the economy, is that something that you back? What do you think the county's role should be in trying to diversify the economy?
Yeah, I mean, COVID-19's shown us a lot of our vulnerabilities, right? So I think that diversification is one of my top priorities. It's something that's been talked about for decades on the island. It's something that we need to look at strongly, but it's going to take time, right? We need to first lay the infrastructure. And what I mean by that is we got to make sure that we're set up for that diversification, right? Technologically, education, workforce development, a lot of those things. So I'm all for diversification. I think we can do it with our health industry, IT, renewable energy, and then agriculture as well. You're seeing a lot of shift towards that and bringing that back to the capacity. So I'm all for diversification, but I also think that we need to get some sort of economic stability going so that we can build further upon that.
And so, you know, even before COVID hit, there was this fear that we're losing young people, that housing is becoming too expensive, that just the cost of
Yeah.
living here is too high. Do you have any ideas for how maybe we can keep some of these bright, talented people here at home so they're contributing to our economy?
Yeah, no, exactly. Having kids, that's like paramount for me, is how do we keep our homegrown talent here? And it really is investing in that education component. We can look to see how University of Hawaii here, that we have a campus where we can get into more certification programs that are geared towards taking our homegrown talent and getting them into higher paying jobs, whether it be in tech, healthcare, and renewable energy like I was talking about. So, all of those things have to come together, but it all starts with laying that foundation with education.
Yeah. So, just yesterday, Maui News had an article about kind of some disagreements that are happening between the Community Plan Committee and the Planning Commission, some allegations of, conflict of interest. I'm not going to ask you to weigh in on that, no, but that can of worms,
Yeah.
but I do want to ask, as a council member, you'll be voting on potentially approving that community plan. Have you looked at it? Do you have any opinions on what you've seen inside that community plan?
Yeah, I've seen that community plan, and I've seen the back and forth as well. And look, we need affordable housing, rentals. We need the schools to be upgraded on the west side. And that plan brings a lot of that together. So, I'm all in support of, moving things forward in a positive direction. I believe, Kanapali 2020, they had that plan as well. Well, it's 2020. Where is that? So I think a lot of things that happen, things get planned and then they don't get executed. And for me, that's kind of what I want to change. I want to make sure we're bringing everyone to the table together so we can work together to move things forward.
So talking about change, if you were to be a council member, right now in the primary, you're running against a couple of other, well-respected West Maui community members. What would you say to the West Maui community that they could expect from you if they were your constituents?
I think, that for me is like that balanced vision approach. I'm going to look at it from all sides and allow for everyone to have a seat at the table and not just listen, but truly value their opinion. And that's how I think we're going to, get back to having some sort of, prosperity back onto our islands, is really working together. This new pandemic, if that's the one takeaway, is we got to stop the divisiveness and work together for the betterment of our community. And that's kind of what I bring to the table.
All right, hey, we're reaching the end of the street here, Sne. So I just want to say thank you for joining us and walking with us today. And remember to vote. Turn in your ballots by August 8th. Turn them in by August 4th if you're mailing it.
Thank you so much, everybody. If you want to learn more about my policies and initiatives, you can go to joinpatel.com. That's joinpatel.com. I'd love your support to get to the primary, get through the primary, and then be able to talk about some of my other initiatives through the general election. So thank you very much for your support. Aloha, everybody. Thank you, Axel. Maui time. Woo!